Hi everyone, welcome to class. Welcome to Unacademy's YouTube channel. Please let me know if I am clearly audible and clearly visible to all of you. I should be clearly audible and clearly visible to all of you. All right, chalo, great. Chalo. Thank you so much for being here on time as well. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Unacademy's YouTube channel. My name is Hafsa Malik, and I am your top educator for psychology for the NTA-UGC NET category on Unacademy. I also teach clinical psychology. I also teach for GATE. I also teach for PhD entrances. And today we are going to learn about a very exciting topic, which is Eastern psychology. ठीक है आज हम डिस्कस करेंगे ईस्टर्न साइकोलॉजी आई विल मेक यूज ऑफ हिंदी एंड इंग्लिश बोथ so that everybody can understand comfortably. Ma'am, live classes are best. Okay, great, wonderful. Chalo, ठीक है. Chalo guys, ठीक है. Let's get started. So today we are going to do a little bit of an overview. We will do sort of a continuation of our previous class. We will be doing a sort of overview of Hinduism, Buddhism, as well as Sufism. ठीक है हम यहाँ पे मैम आप पॉलिटिकल साइंस की टीचर हो ना जहां तक मुझे पता है लास्ट टाइम आई चेक्ड आई वाज टीचिंग साइकोलॉजी पॉलिटिकल साइंस तो नहीं पढ़ाती मैं हाँ जी गुड इवनिंग हाय तेजस गुड टू सी यू हाय सुरभि गुड इवनिंग एवरीबॉडी हाय साजल ओके आई एम सीइंग अ लॉट ऑफ ओल्ड नेम्स आई एम सीइंग अ लॉट ऑफ न्यू नेम्स एज वेल थैंक यू फॉर बीइंग हियर चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं मैम लाइव में से बात करते हैं तो बहुत अच्छा लगता है ओके थैंक यू फॉर लेटिंग मी नो Alright, hello, welcome to class everybody. चलिए start करते हैं. Okay, with Hafsa Malik, yours truly. So we have already discussed a bit on Hinduism. We have already discussed a bit on Buddhism. हमने Sufism के बारे में भी बात की है. So what is new and what is novel? So today we are going to talk about an overview of what the philosophy of Hinduism is, what the two different philosophies are, and what the different paths are. So, for a lot of you, this may seem like a revision class, but for some of you, this will also be a lot of new information. Chaliye, if you do want to join my classes, my code is Hafsa Live. This will give you a 10% off on your subscription. What are you waiting for? Join in. मेरा 27 जुलाई को बैच स्टार्ट हुआ है. On the 27th of July, I actually started a new batch where I will complete all of your syllabus of all 10 units, all of your syllabus of psychology. I teach paper 2 psychology. I do not teach paper 1. Okay? Okay? And I will take care of all of your psychology preparation. No books needed, no additional resources needed. Chal. This is my Telegram group. Please join it if you would like to watch more of my free classes. अगर आप मेरे free classes भी देखना चाहते हैं तो ग्रुप ज्वाइन कर लीजिए व्हाट आर यू वेटिंग फॉर एक्सेप्ट फॉर दैट स्पेशल क्लासेस जैसे आज वेंसडे को यूट्यूब क्लास होती है 7:30 डेली मंडे टू फ्राइडे या मंडे ट्यूसडे थर्सडे एंड फ्राइडे मेरी स्पेशल क्लासेस होती हैं अनअकैडमी पे ओके all you need to do is go download the app and watch all of these classes. These are free classes. Oh, चलिए ऑल राइट मैम पॉलिटिकल साइंस का टीचर बता दीजिए मुझे नहीं पता यार अगर पता होता तो मैं जरूर बता देती आई वुड टेल यू ओके चलो now I shall attempt to read a little bit of Hindi so please help me out and then we will talk about what enlightenment actually looks like. This is actually from chapter 12 verse 12 of the Bhagavad Gita which actually is the song of God. ठीक है तो द सॉन्ग ऑफ गॉड क्या कहता है तो इट से शारीरिक अभ्यास से श्रेष्ठ ज्ञान है ओके दैट रादर देन बॉडीली प्लेजर्स इट इज बेटर टू अटेन नॉलेज ज्ञान से श्रेष्ठ ध्यान है इट इज बेटर टू मेडिटेट than to gain knowledge of things about life और ध्यान से श्रेष्ठ कर्म फलों का परित्याग है. Even better than meditation, it is to give up any expectations for our good deeds. मतलब आप कर्म का basically फल मत मांगो. Okay, so give it up, त्याग करो. Okay, don't expect anything in return. और ऐसे त्याग से शीघ्र मन को शांति प्राप्त होती है. And once we do good deeds and do not expect anything in return, that is when we attain peace and calm. And this kind of peace and calm is the kind of enlightenment we are referring to. आपको पता है कि ईस्टर्न साइकोलॉजी का सेंट्रल आइडिया क्या है? द सेंट्रल आइडिया of Eastern psychology is actually for us to attain a sense of enlightenment. Western psychology में इस चीज को transcendence या actualization कहते हैं. Okay, transcendence or actualization. Correct, absolutely. Now, what we need to understand here, this enlightenment is a very important concept in Eastern psychology, और इसी के basis पे हम अपनी life जीते हैं. Okay, all Eastern religions, or at least most of them, are asking us to try to attain this enlightenment through various paths. Okay, so we also have paths towards enlightenment, है ना? तो इस पे आपको question भी आया था in NET 2021. There was a question exactly on this. Therefore, I have mentioned it today. Alright, we've discussed this earlier as well. We will be doing sort of a little bit of an overview of all of our religions. Now, Hinduism, two major philosophies are the Sankhya Philosophy versus the, I will wait for all of you to answer. We have Sankhya versus the Advait Vedant Philosophy. Yes or no? We have the Sankhya Philosophy and we have the Advait Vedant Philosophy. Absolutely. The Sankhya philosophy is a dualist philosophy जहां हम मानते हैं कि mind and body is separate and the Prakriti and the Purush are separate and we want to become the Purush, we want to let go of the Prakriti. ये अविद्या to vidya मैं आपको फिर से explain करूंगी. I'm going to explain the whole process to you once again. Whereas Advait Vedant is a monist philosophy which talks about how we are all made up of simply metaphysical energy. कि हम सारे लोग या हम सब मेटाफिजिकल एनर्जी से बने हैं, राइट? ओके, एंड द काइंड ऑफ मेटाफिजिकल एनर्जी वी आर मेड अप ऑफ इज सेम इन एवरीबडी. चाहे वो गॉड हो, चाहे वो दुनिया हो, चाहे वो हम हो, चाहे वो हमारी सोसाइटी हो, एनर्जी जो कॉस्मिक एनर्जी सब में प्रेजेंट है, इट इज एब्सोल्युटली द सेम. Okay, all right, fine. Yes, absolutely. So we have the three marg या तीन रास्ते. We have three paths in the Bhagavad Gita, or according to Hinduism, that we must follow in order for us to gain enlightenment. ठीक है? Karma marg, where we have to attain enlightenment through our actions, through right actions. The Gyan marg, where we have to basically do it through attainment of knowledge. भक्ति मार्ग में हम क्या करते हैं? भक्ति मार्ग में we show devotion. Yes, absolutely. In the bhakti marg, all we basically do is show devotion. Yes, absolutely. Now we will actually go ahead and talk about the path from avidya to vidya once again. क्या करेंगे? हम संख्या philosophy को ही लेके ये अंडरस्टैंड करेंगे कि पुरुष और प्राकृति, what are they, how are they formed, how do we differentiate between the two. Can I say, according to the Sankhya, we are born, or there are two universal entities in the world. Universal या eternal entities दो हैं. ये दो eternal entities क्या हैं बताइए? These universal or eternal entities, one is the Prakriti, our environment. Our environment. And there is also the Purush. Purush is basically our soul, our spirit, the metaphysical energy that we are made up of. And this can also be known as the Atman, experience of the Atman. ठीक है? हमारा true nature. Absolutely, very good. जब ये दोनों मिलते हैं, I'm sorry, I'm unable to change the color. It's not giving me an option to change the color. So please deal with the red. हाँ जी, absolutely. तो जब इन दोनों को combine करते हैं, what do we get? We get the jeev. जीव, राइट? जीव इज द स्टेट दैट वी आर born in. हम जब पैदा होते हैं तो हम जीव होते हैं, एंड दिस जीव इज born into a state of ignorance. इग्नोरेंस या इस इग्नोरेंस को हम कहते हैं अविद्या, द लैक ऑफ नॉलेज. यस, ओके, एब्सोल्युटली. एंड देन कैन आई से इसी प्रकृति में देयर इज माया आल्सो. Guys, you can ask doubts also. If you have any doubts, now that we have time for discussion, you can ask doubts. Can I say इसी प्रकृति में माया होती है, illusions and desires, temptations basically. Temptations. You see, according to most religions, overeating is also a sin. Okay, overeating is also a sin. Behaving rudely with other people is also a sin. Fighting with other people and taking that which belongs to other people are also sins. तो वो सारी चीजें, ये temptations हमें कहाँ पे मिलती हैं? These are all present in the prakriti or our environment. तो हमारा क्या काम है यहाँ पे? Must I actively detach from the prakriti and therefore move slowly, slowly, slowly close to only being the purush? हमें डिटैच करना है प्रकृति से. What do we have to do here? We have to actively detach from prakriti. And therefore, we will end up being only the purush and therefore become somebody who possesses vidya or knowledge of our true state. कि हमारी metaphysical energy जो है हम वही है. And this will also lead us to the state of samadhi or actualization or enlightenment. Okay, this is very, very, very important for you to be able to solve questions in your exam. अगर आप exams में question solve करना चाहते हो तो ये process आपके लिए काफी important है, ये आपको remember करना. If we are clear here, please let me know. If you have doubts here, also let me know. Doubts, no doubts, clear, not clear, please let me. Clear, ma'am. Clear, ma'am. Okay. All right. Wonderful. चलो ठीक है. ठीक है. Are we aware of the states of consciousness according to the Advait tradition? Advait, which is monist. एक बार हम repeat कर सकते हैं. What are the states of consciousness here? या levels of consciousness? Levels of consciousness क्या है? Advait Vedant is the monist philosophy, which actually says कि we all exist in unity. मतलब mind, body are one. Us and the universe are one. Everything is just one. Okay? All right. So we start with the Jagratavast. Then we move on to the Swapnavast. Then we move on to the Pragyavast. And then we finally move on to the Turyavast, where we experience the true nature of the Atman. ठीक है? तो जागृत अवस्थ, we are obsessed or we are completely focused on our material world. मतलब हम greedy हैं, हम चीजें चाहते हैं अपने लिए. We want to take what belongs to other people. स्वप्न अवस्थ, I am contemplating subconsciously. करना है, नहीं करना है, what is right, what is wrong, what should I do? Pragyavast is where I have knowledge of my true being, my true essence, and therefore I actively work towards spirituality. हम spiritual nature पे अपने ज़्यादा ध्यान देते हैं. And Turyavast is when I have attained या achieved complete enlightenment. Enlightenment complete हो जाती है and therefore we have truly become the Purush. ना हमें कोई desire है, ना कोई तकलीफ है, nor are we going to basically go back to the older states. यहाँ पे you have to remember Eastern psychology में enlightenment is permanent. We are not going to go back to any older states. Absolutely. Okay? If we are clear here, we'll move on. So let me know. We'll move on. Great. All right, again, offshoot of Islam, non-traditional branch of Islam is basically Sufism. Sufism can be quick label. Is it monist? Is it dualist? Is there life rebirth? Is there no life rebirth? Is there a soul? Is there a self? What actually happens here? So to summarize, I will quickly say that this is a dualist philosophy. यहाँ पे dualism हम follow करते हैं, मतलब mind body separate है या body और soul separate है. Okay, there is no life rebirth. Okay, and can I say that the self here focuses or exists या functions from the most gross basic level to the highest level of functioning? Can I say यहाँ पे जो self हमारा होता है वो सबसे basic level से highest level पे function करता है. All right. Now we have seen all of this before and we have discussed all of this before. What are we going to talk about now? We're actually going to talk about layers of Sufism. So you see, Hanji. Yes, yes, commanding self to pure self. Correct, absolutely correct. तो क्या हम डिस्कस करेंगे layers of Sufism हम डिस्कस करेंगे. Now we know that every single religion comes with its own rules and stuff. What to follow, what to not follow, what to do and so on. And how to do it, how to live life. Okay, ठीक है, absolutely. तो यहाँ पे भी layers हैं, outermost to innermost layer. Okay, first we have the wilaya or the outermost or the outward religion that people may have, like the people who understand Sufism from an outsider perspective may have this. This is what will be their understanding of Sufism. Now actually the first layer that we care about is the Sharia. A lot of you must be familiar with the word Sharia law, okay? Islamic law, okay? So exoteric matlab the outermost layer of Sufism actually is the Sharia. Sharia ये बताता है कि ordinary human being को day to day life कैसे जीनी है, okay? The Sharia or the Sharia law basically governs how to live our day to day life, what is right for us, what is wrong for us, and so on and so forth. So this is basically the layers to becoming sort of a Sufi saint or becoming following Sufism. ठीक है, outermost layer, सबसे पहले हमें Sufi saint बनने के लिए ये शरिया लॉ फॉलो करना है. This is the outermost layer. Okay, चलो ठीक है. This is also known as the exoteric outer. उसके बाद तरीका, okay, is the path that basically where we get under the guidance of a teacher. आप एक सूफी saint या sheikh is somebody who has high knowledge about scriptures and this and that. So you will basically sort of enroll in a mentorship program. Literally speaking, आप एक mentor को ढूंढेंगे जो आपको तरीका पता है ना क्या होता है, the way of life सिखाएगा. ठीक है, so path mein they will be able to help you follow the path. Somebody who has experience, somebody who has good knowledge will be able to guide you towards the right path as well. तरीका, ठीक है, okay, fine, हाँ जी, all right, no problem चिन्मय. उसके बाद हकीकत, okay, या हकीकत. आप अगर सिंपल में बोलेंगे तो ये क्या है, दिस इज द ट्रूथ. हकीकत हम भी बोलते हैं ना, हाँ, ट्रूथ या रियलिटी. तो ये क्या है, दिस इज अबाउट मी अंडरस्टैंडिंग दैट आई एम आफ्टर ऑल अ स्पिरिचुअल बीइंग. तो हमें वो रियलाइजेशन या अवेयरनेस आ जाना आफ्टर वी हैव एक्चुअली फॉलोड आर रिलीजियस टीचर. अगर हमने रिलीजियस टीचर को फॉलो किया है तो हमें अपनी हकीकत या फिर हमारा ट्रू नेचर समझ में आ जाएगा. वी विल डेवलप अवेयरनेस अबाउट आवरसेल्व्स and therefore we will develop a higher sense of consciousness, and somewhere we are moving closer towards that enlightenment and becoming a super saint. Okay, all right. Sheikh is a level of, you see how saints have levels. Sheikh is actually somebody who is well versed with the Islamic law, all of Islamic scripture. वो नहीं, UAE ke, like simply just somebody who wears that gown and all is not a sheikh. Somebody who's rich, not like that, not like that. ठीक है, religious leader को बोलते हैं. Somebody who has actually hafiz and then more knowledge than that. The one of the highest levels is actually sheikh. Not like what confusion. And then we finally come to marifa. This is the innermost layer in which direct knowledge and love of the divine is experienced. This is when we are able to understand love for God, true love for God, and experiencing sort of the presence, the spiritual presence of God. Okay? This is when you are on the right track to becoming, or you are almost a Sufi saint. So please repeat with me, from the outermost to the innermost layer, you have the exoteric layer or the Sharia, then you have the esoteric layer or the tariqa. Then you have the haqiqat or the spiritual consciousness layer. And then you have ma'arifa, which is the innermost layer. These are layers of Sufism. Very important for us to study these as well. If you've understood, please let me know. If you have not understood, also let me know. Correct. Absolutely. Chalo guys, I will drink some water. You tell me if you have any doubts. Ma'am, please explain three. Three is a lot, like again आप इसको compare कर सकते हैं प्रज्ञावस्थ के साथ, that we are now aware of our true nature. Okay, so we are set on the path to enlightenment because a teacher has guided us. किसने हमें guide किया है? शेख ने guide किया है. Okay, to do what? To live a righteous life, to have the right kind of thoughts so that we can become a Sufi saint. Ma'am, ma'arifa is like self-actualization. Yes, something like that. Yes. Not only self-actualization, something like transcendence, where we can actually feel the spiritual presence of God. Chalo, ठीक है. I would love to revise the path with all of you once again because I feel like path में लोग गलतियां करते हैं. Nafs is quite easy. So can we first repeat the levels of nafs as well? We'll not do it here. हम यहाँ पे clean page पे करेंगे. Levels of nafs हम कर सकते हैं. Let me see if we remember. Nafs is also known as ego. Chaliye. All right, can we do levels of nafs? You tell me and I will write down. What do we have first? मैम सूफी में ही एकेश्वरवाद आता है ना, वो क्या होता है? वो क्या होता है? All right, we start off with the commanding self or the tyrannical self. After the commanding self, where do we lead? Where do we go after becoming the commanding self? Then the blaming or the regretful self. Okay, where we are constantly going between praying and not praying. Okay, all right, fine. Number three, now I want to pray. I want to be a decent human being. तो हम क्या करना चाहते हैं? Now I actually want to become inspired and I want to enjoy praying and all of that. So I am now the inspired self. Wonderful. चलिए इसके बाद now next what do I become? I want to feel content. मुझे मजा आता है. I feel satisfied when I pray. So therefore I am now the secure or content self. Secure or content self. Next I am pleased. ठीक है? Absolutely. Next what am I? Secure is also known as content. Secure is serene. Secure is not content. Secure is serene. Then we have the pleased or the content self. Okay, pleased या फिर content is happening. Pleased or content self. Correct. After I feel like, okay, I'm satisfied, okay, I'm content with what I have, now I want to please or I want to impress or I want to devote myself to God. So now I am the pleasing or the gratified self because I'm grateful for everything I have, not just content. ठीक है? Gratified self. And lastly, the pure self, where we have received or we have attained enlightenment. All right, great, wonderful. हाँ जी, pure self. वेरी वेरी गुड. गुड इवनिंग. हाँ हाँ, चलो, गुड इवनिंग, गुड इवनिंग. एब्सोल्युटली, एब्सोल्युटली. लेट्स ऑल्सो ट्रेस द पाथ टू एनलाइटनमेंट. सूफिज्म में पाथ हम ट्रेस आउट कर देते हैं. चलिए, व्हाट इज द फर्स्ट स्टेप दैट वी टेक टुवर्ड्स बिकमिंग अ सूफी सेंट? सबसे पहला स्टेप हम सूफी सेंट बनने के टाइम पे कौन सा लेते हैं, बताइए. व्हाट्स द फर्स्ट स्टेप वी टेक टुवर्ड्स बिकमिंग अ सूफी सेंट? I'll give you a clue. It starts with R. Very, very good. It is repentance. Okay. All right. ठीक है. Number two. Now I fear that I will be thrown out from heaven and I will not be able to see God. Right? Okay. Fine. Number three. Now that I am scared I will not get to heaven, I will start giving up. I will start detaching from material gains. या मटीरियल वर्ल्ड जो है उससे हम डिटैच करना स्टार्ट करेंगे. सो वी विल रिनाउंस या रिनाउंसिएशन, मतलब हम गिव अप कर देंगे अपनी बिलोंगिंग्स को. Absolutely. After renunciation, what do we do? What do we do after renunciation? We experience poverty because we gave away everything that we had. हमारे पास जो भी था हमने दे दिया. अब हम experience करेंगे poverty. Okay. After that, what do we feel? We feel that no, I should stay steadfast. मुझे patient रहना चाहिए. मुझे सब्र या patience दिखानी चाहिए because I chose to do this. Now I must endure the suffering that comes with giving up all material gains as well. Very, very good. After this, we basically show trust in God or we surrender. हम ट्रस्ट दिखाते हैं गॉड में और हम सरेंडर कर देते हैं खुद को. एंड फाइनली वी एक्सपीरियंस satisfaction और वी एक्सपीरियंस एनलाइटमेंट. वेरी वेरी गुड. वेरी वेरी. Alright, good job. Good job, Eddie. Alright. If we are good to go here, we are done with Sufism as well. Now we will just revise Buddhism a little bit and then we'll be done. Okay, if there are any doubts, please ask. अगर नहीं है doubts तो हम चलते हैं. चलो ठीक. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Alright, let's go. Now we have spoken about Buddhism as well. Can anybody tell me what wisdom is called? In Buddhism, basically, you got to follow first of all, you got to understand the Four Noble Truths and then you got to follow the Eightfold Path if you want enlightenment. Buddhism is an atheistic religion, मतलब यहाँ पे God का concept actually नहीं है. It is also a monist religion. That means mind, body, soul सब एक ही entity है. And we actually want moksha or freedom from the life rebirth cycle. हमें बार बार जन्म नहीं लेना है. We want freedom from rebirth. Okay. And main concept of enlightenment here, moksha would mean that we become the अनाथ. ठीक है. और यहाँ पे हम वर्ड यूज ये भी कर सकते हैं अरहान, अरहात और अरहांत. All of these are okay. Anath is simply another word for Arahant and Arahat is simply another word for Anath, specifically used for Theravada Buddhism. ठीक है? Okay? Fine. Very, very good. Very, very good. Now the division of wisdom is actually known as what? ये जो division of wisdom है हमारे eightfold path में, इसको क्या कहते हैं? इसको कहते हैं क्या है बताइए? This is known as, tell me. Okay, ma'am. हाँ जी. This is pragya, spelled as Prajna. Pragya, basically knowledge, wisdom, whatever we might understand. Okay, right? Understanding simply means that we need to understand that the world is imperfect and impermanent and that I want to attain enlightenment. Right? Okay, fine. Hanji. That enlightenment is the only real thing that I should be after. उसके बाद the right thought. I should get the right determination in order to follow the eightfold path. उसके बाद division of ethical conduct. Ethical conduct is also known as shield. We have the punch shield here in right action, where you must abstain from lying, cheating, deceiving, and so on. Right speech means you must only say good things or say nothing at all, no gossiping, nothing like that. And right livelihood means that the job that you do, how you gain your monthly salary or whatever, shouldn't hurt anybody. हमें harm या hurt किसी को अपने profession या अपने job के through नहीं करना है. Lastly, we have samadhi, absolutely, where you have right effort. That means you need to cultivate the right kind of thoughts. हमें negative thoughts दूर करना है, undesirable thoughts को दूर करना है, and we need to focus on attaining samadhi या moksha. All right, right. Mindfulness will mean we focus inward, we let go of any distractions. And concentration means that we actually perform quality meditation that will allow us to experience moksha or peace or calm. Absolutely, absolutely. Now, right now, what we हाँ यहाँ पे है, ठीक है? तो यहाँ पे मैंने आपके लिए I have written it down, or I have basically included this table. We'll move on and we will talk about how there are stages of, or the path to enlightenment is a little bit different from other schools in Theravada. ठीक है? Theravada जो बुद्धिज्म है, यहाँ पे जो enlightenment का path होता है वो थोड़ा सा different होता है बाकी स्कूल से. तो आप यहाँ पे देख रहे हैं, these words might look different or difficult. The path to stream entry, you might be wondering what stream are we entering, में कौन सी stream में जाना है. Not like your commerce or your BPC or whatever. Let's try to understand where we start and what we do. So we start as the सोतपन. ठीक है? अगर हमें बनना है बोधिसत्व means a Buddhist monk. ठीक है? अगर आपको गौतम बुद्ध की footsteps में follow करना है, then you must start by becoming the सोतपन. The Sotpan is somebody who is determined to be a monk. We know in Theravada school that only men can do this, and individual moksha must be attained, and therefore they have to undergo a lot of life rebirth and so on. Okay? So here we must be clearly determined to go very, very far in terms of how much effort it may take. तो यहाँ पे formal meditation, why do I always say meditation करनी है. That means they have to actually practice the art of Buddhist meditation. ठीक है? हाँ जी, absolutely. तो ये person सोतपन who is just starting to become a Buddhist monk या ये training में है ये monk. Do you think इनका life rebirth cycle होगा? Do you think इनका life rebirth cycle और होगा, या यहाँ पे ही खत्म हो जाता है? Do you think that the सोतपन, a person who actually starts on the path to becoming what? Arahant or Anath. Do you think this is where the life rebirth cycle stops? No. This person will be born again. This person will be born again क्योंकि हमने start किया है. You remember Theravada Buddhism talks about multiple life rebirth cycles to actually gain moksha. थेरावाड़ा में आपको कभी कभी मल्टीपल लाइफ रीबर्थ साइकिल्स करने हैं या मल्टीपल रीबर्थ लेना है. ओके, बार बार जन्म लेना है टू अचीव एनलाइटमेंट, टू अचीव मोक्ष. ओके, ऑलराइट, हाँ जी, ठीक है. देन वी बिकम द साकारगामी हु इज ऑन दिस फॉर्मल ट्रेनिंग, formal path to meditation, and basically slowly detaching, letting go of everything. ठीक है? तो this person will go through the life rebirth cycle only once. अब जब हम साकारगामी बन गए हैं, कितने बार हमारा फिर से जन्म होगा? रीबर्थ साइकिल और कितने बार होगा? वन मोर रीबर्थ, बस वन मोर रीबर्थ, मतलब हम बस एक बार और जन्म. Yes. So this person is known as the once returner. उसका मतलब क्या है? I am telling you. उसके बाद you may become the अन्नगामी और the अनुगामी. ये next stage है, ठीक है? और अनुगामी या अनगामी, अब और एक इसका रीबर्थ होगा या नहीं होगा? When we are born again, now we are the अनुगामी या अनगामी. Will we be born again? No. This one is also known as the non-returner. ठीक है? Non-returner का मतलब है कि इसका लाइफ रीबर्थ, क्या इसका रीबर्थ नहीं होगा? नो मोर रीबर्थ, no more rebirths. But can I say, since this person is alive, they are still on the pursuit, or they are still in the, journey of becoming anath? अभी तो नहीं बने हैं ना, they are alive. In Buddhism, you must get freedom from the life itself, or freedom from the rebirth cycle. That means you will die and you will not be born again, है ना? So this person is still on the path to becoming arahant, has not become arahant yet. And then finally when this person dies, जब ये अनुगामी जब हम बनते हैं या अनागामी जब हम बनते हैं, when this person dies, they will basically become arahant. ठीक है? Because और नहीं होने वाला life rebirth cycle. They'll simply become arahant. Okay. If there are any doubts here, please explain. Then I will take you back to the previous slide and explain that. Tell me. I'll wait. I'll wait for all of you to type in your comments. And for those of you who are attending the plus classes as well, I would just ask you to inculcate this in your notes. आप इसको notes में सिर्फ add कर दो. मैं आपको updates, when I basically give you the combined PDF, I will include this. मैं ये आपको notes में include कर दूंगी, लेकिन आप भी जब notes लिख रहे हो, इसको वहीं पे लिखो जहां पे वो topic लिखा है. इसको पता कैसे चला होगा, वो हम find out करेंगे. आप you'll figure it out. Okay, ma'am. All right. Are we understanding? Yes, Rahul. Yes. That would make sense, है ना? Because arahant or anath, arahant is just another word for anath. This basically means that we no longer exist. And Theravada very strictly follows the principle of anath. मतलब there is nobody exists after they die. ठीक है? As in once they die and they have already attained the state of anath or arahant, they will not come back again. And they will not exist in spirit either. मतलब उनका soul भी खत्म वहीं पे. चलो ठीक है. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Now here you will see this is known as a noble path. ठीक है? Because a person who wants to become a bodhisattva, that itself is a noble act. Yes? तो यहाँ पे there are 4 groups of noble disciples, or you can say that one single noble disciple basically goes through all of this journey. ये जो journey होती है सोतपन से अरहंत की, ये एक noble disciple, मतलब जिसने बुद्धिस्ट monk बनने का process start किया है. So stream entry and stream fruition. So this entry means the start of a certain stage and fruition means the completion of a certain stage. ठीक है? Fruition simply means कि खत्म कर दिया कोई stage. Okay? The path to stream entry, मतलब हम start कर रहे हैं अपनी journey. We are starting our journey as a bodhisattva or as a Buddhist monk. Then can I say this is nothing but when we are the sotapan? Yes? So just like that, can you tell me what the next stages would be? Again, the path to once returning. We spoke about how the Sakaragami will be basically born once again. Once returning. Once returner. मतलब एक और rebirth इनका होगा. ठीक है? Fruition of once returning. मतलब ये life cycle complete. Okay. All right. All right, absolutely. Then the path to non-returning is basically what? That I am alive right now. If I have reached that state of being the anagami, फिर हम नहीं rebirth फिर से नहीं होने वाला है. And therefore, when this is done, we are on the path to becoming the arahant. And the fruition of arahantship is basically when we are never going to be reborn again. Absolutely, absolutely. तो यहाँ पे हम बनते हैं अरहंत. All right, ठीक है? Okay, fine, wonderful. This is really, really fascinating. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Chalo, guys. If we are clear here, we'll move on. We'll just talk about a little bit of what is important for Mahayana and what we see for Vajrayana, and then we are done. So it'll be another few minutes. If there are any doubts, please ask. Otherwise, we are good to go. Yeah, it's quite interesting. All right, chaliए, let's go. Clear. Okay. It should be clear when we are doing the MCQ class also. जब हम MCQ class करेंगे तब भी clear होना चाहिए. But ma'am, does anyone know? So I'll tell you once again, Sanjeevni, that's actually a good question. I think others have also asked. 1 minute. What we are actually studying over here is the tip of the iceberg. अगर आप यहाँ पे देखेंगे, हम थोड़ा सा स्टडी कर रहे हैं बुद्धिज्म को. डू वी अंडरस्टैंड ऑल ऑफ बुद्धिज्म एंड आर वी ट्रेनिंग टू बी बुद्धिस्ट मंक्स इन द सेंस कि क्या हमें इन डेप्थ नॉलेज है बुद्धिज्म की? नॉट मी, नॉट. If I don't think I have in-depth knowledge, unless you have a degree in Buddhism, I will not consider you to have in-depth knowledge either. तो हमारा जितना नेट के लिए चाहिए, that is how much we do. All right. Yeah, we don't understand the, what do I say, all of the details of it. And I'm sure the answer lies in the detail. I mean, I'm sure कि qualities होती हैं जो आप verify कर सकते हैं कि देखो, if I am the anagami, then this is how I feel. This is how I feel my emotions. I'm calm. I don't get angry or whatever. I'm being hypothetical here. कि I'm sure इसके लिए कोई ना कोई requirements होंगे. ठीक है. You will see even today Buddhist monks have grades. ठीक है. तो they get promoted sort of based on what level they have reached in their practice, right? So there must be something to verify how somebody is an anagami, how they are sotpan and all of that. Sotpan जो है ये काफी simple है in the sense कि this is when the person enters the path, of becoming a Buddhist monk. तो ऐसा है. Yes, it is fascinating. I will agree. Then Mahayana schools differ a lot, right, in interpretation of nirvana from the Theravada school. Yeah, they believe in the parinibhan of Buddha did not result in the total extinction of his samsara. That means that they believe that the Buddha still exists somewhere. Yes, we have discussed this. We have discussed this earlier as well. That is why they say, retain one or more of the skandhas properties after even his attainment of the anat. ठीक है. So therefore we assume in Mahayana that Gautam Buddha or Lord Buddha continues to exist even after attaining the state of being anat. Okay. And therefore here we do sort of contradict the scriptures. यहाँ पे हम मानते हैं कि collectivistic enlightenment क्या होता है? That Buddha still exists somewhere in spirit. And therefore he will guide us. Like other religions believe prophets and this and that. In Christianity, how you have that, it is God who is guiding us even after. So here also, Buddha exists in spirit and still guides us to enlightenment. So that is what the main sort of argument here is. ठीक है, यहाँ पे main argument वही. Absolutely. So they contradict the atheistic nature of Buddhism. So Mahayana school जो है, it's actually a huge school, not a little school, school of thought. Quite in use still, although right now Vajrayana school is more popular. Okay, alright. तो यहाँ पे ये है हमारा path. Idol worship also that I'm not familiar with. So it's not necessary that they worship the idol. It might just be, the spirit that they are trying to invoke. I'm not sure. You'll have to check. ठीक है. Okay. All right. Let's go. Now, the final or the last type of Buddhism, the Vajrayana Buddhism, like I said, this is also the Tibetan Buddhism, and this is the one that has chosen the Dalai Lama as its leader. Okay. Dalai Lama किसके spiritual leader है? Is the spiritual leader of Vajrayana or Tibetan Buddhism. And here we say that there is an accelerated path, matlab shorter path hai. Hanji, this is the Thunderbolt school of, Thunderbolt school of Buddhism. And therefore, the path to enlightenment is accelerated through mantras and tantras and supernatural powers which we can gain, right? And nirvana is simply described as complete and perfect sanity. Sanity का मतलब complete awareness, calmness, and your behavior and your demeanor will reflect that you have achieved a complete state of peace, which is attainable in a single lifetime. मेरे लिए ये मुझे किस चीज की याद दिलाता है, अगर आप योगा में कंपैरिजन करोगे तो इंटीग्रल योगा इज सॉर्ट ऑफ अ शॉर्टकट मेथड, although it's not like that's a lot simpler, but it talks about how anybody and everybody can perform yoga. And here also we talk about how anybody and everybody can attain enlightenment. ठीक है, tantra technique, practical aids to spiritual development. Okay, all right. हाँ ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है. So insight meditation is not the only method over here. Yes, this is also known as the diamond or the thunderbolt vehicle. The technique of meditation is slow, therefore they would rather do the tantras and the mantras, which will give them supernatural powers as well. Now here full enlightenment is possible in a much shorter time frame, perhaps in a single lifetime. All right? Yeah. With that, we actually wrap up the class. If there are any doubts, if there are any questions, please ask. Otherwise, we will call it a day. I'm reading the comments. If you guys have any doubts, please ask. Otherwise, we are done. Okay, am I not receiving the comments? चलो, आज जल्दी हो गया ना मैम? हाँ जी, हो गया. नहीं चाहिए छुट्टी. You want to stay? All right, that is about it. Thank you so much for learning with me. If you liked the class, I hope you did. If you liked it, please like, share, subscribe, give it a thumbs up and all of that. If you want to join my classes, अगर आप मेरी classes join करना चाहते हैं, सारा syllabus पढ़ना चाहते हैं, पूरे 10 units का psychology का for all of the entrance exams out there, go ahead and subscribe, join in, use my code Hafsa Live. That will give you a 10% off. Thank you so much for attending my class. Make sure to do all of these things. Bye bye. Good night. I shall see you all tomorrow morning on Unacademy 9 a.m. You have an MCQ class. Bye, guys. Good night. Good night.